Spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious U.S. Bank Stadium. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the New York Jets and the Minnesota Vikings. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Elliott. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. This defense for the Vikings, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
He'll buy some time right. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
It'd be interesting to see what he decides to do the next time he's in the position we just saw there. Outside of the pocket, takes a throw downfield, it turns up incomplete. I wonder if next time he might take off and run.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. On play action. Now Rodgers. Open man here is Cox. Yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
A first down carry by Elliott.
We'll get this up to about the 44.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And he finds Corey Davis. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done, down to the 15 from the 21. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here.
And the Jets are going to have it 1st and goal as he'll take this down to about the 3.
The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Elliott is into the end zone for a Jets touchdown. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. They start the drive with Cook.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 24, Cousins out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hockenson. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal. Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Inside give to Elliott. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
41 yards rushing for him now to this point.
We are watching a runner having a really nice game. Carrying it very well. Vision is excellent, but boy, look at the help he's getting. Offensive line, I think they're pretty eager to block for him.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
Rodgers now to throw. A dump off to Elliott. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 47. Up the middle, here's Elliott. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rodgers. He'll get this to Elliott. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On play action, Rodgers. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Chandon Sullivan. And the Vikings are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Throwing is Cousins. And his throw is incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jets are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Now Zuerlein on to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. A fairly short kick from the 14. And now the rookie's free. Touchdown, Vikings. He goes 86 yards on the kick return. And the Vikings have cut it back within a score. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated at.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body.
Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. From the 24, Cousins. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They run again on first down. Cook. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up first and goal.
Cook will get down close to the goal line, but not in, as he'll be marked down at the 1.
Give him 2 yards on that one. Second and goal now.
Dalvin Cook so good in the open field, but he's equally good down here near the goal line. He can find those seams and just push his way through. So he might get another chance or two to punch this one in.
Second and goal from the 1. Trying the power game with Ham. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota.
His second rushing touchdown of the year and third overall.
Joseph now to have the PAT. And this time he gets it to go as it is up and good.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Out to his left. And this one is incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back, because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
The Jets on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 19. Here's Rodgers. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. first down. Here's the run with Cook. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage.
Tackle on that play by Quentin Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
It's a loss of 7. And now it's third down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up fourth down now.
And here's Ryan Wright now.
As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Rodgers.
And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. A final shot before half for Rodgers.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
So we've reached halftime with the visiting Jets on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Now he's going to throw deep right side. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead.
And the Jets are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
So an opening drive interception to begin this second half.
And just think about the time you spent in the locker room going over what you expected to do in the second half. Not the way they saw it, not the way they drew it up. You find out this is something that you can't just edit, right? There's no rewrite here. This is live, and now they've got to find a way out of this hole.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. Oh, Zeke with a quick feet. And he goes out right around the 39. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that will bring up second down. The give is to Elliott. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line.
74 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Again, it's Elliott. Able to slither by, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Only a yard on the pickup, and now they've got a 3rd down and 8. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first.
He's been patient this entire game, waiting for the perfect moment to surprise them with a quarterback keeper. There he catches him off guard and converts his first rush of the game into a 1st down. Gotta love that efficiency.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Rodgers going to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And that's Elliott, complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. And that hits off the left upright, and it caroms away no good. And this is going to remain a 1-point game. And no mistaking that sound. It reverberated through the whole stadium.
And it's the sound, Brandon, no kicker wants to hear. It looked like he had it on target the whole way, but the upright said,
And he is going to lose yardage here. Quinnen Williams, so hard to block, and he shows it that time, making the tackle for loss. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Off the play fake, Cousins. And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. On the move past the 40. And he steps out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 35. A big play there for Minnesota. 41 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level. Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And the 3rd interception thrown by Cousins. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And the Jets are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. And that could turn out to be a giant play, Charles. You got an offense driving to take the lead, but they're turned away on the INT.
And I think that we might look back on this in the 4th quarter and say, that was the play of the game.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 113 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. That one complete to Elliott. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. They rolled out of the pocket right, and I think he wanted a little something more out of that play, obviously. Instead, he hit a safety back.
It looked like two well-coached teams there, even though there was no yardage gained, because the offensive guys, hey, they realized their quarterback was out of the pocket. All the receivers went to the right.
A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. How about a 39-yard pickup? They'll take it.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They go to Elliott again. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Now Elliott. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. Give him 4 on the carry there. It's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Ezekiel Elliott with his 3rd touchdown of the ball game, number 12 on the season. And the Jets are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead. Zerline good with a PAT. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. There's still plenty of time here in the 4th quarter. Just a 1-possession game, down 8. They'll be looking for the touchdown and 2-point conversion. A field goal here on this drive does very little at this stage. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A big play there for Minnesota. And even 40 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Cousins now. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
To the air again, it's Cousins. And this one's incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
That'll give him 8 that time, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Running for it. Here's Cook. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. Dalvin Cook turned away on 4th down. And the Jets are going to get the football back.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
155 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 right at the 40. To throw, it's Rodgers. He finds his man, complete. It's Elliott. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play. Whenever you see a quarterback break contain, just think to yourself, the receivers on that side of the field, their number one job, make sure they get in his sight line so he can try and find someone downfield. Guys on the backside, make sure you don't give up the deep ball. They tried it there. They weren't able to connect.
Rolling to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. They'll give to Elliott. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
They'll try again with Elliott. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. Every yard they gain, getting them better and better field position, and obviously a field goal makes this a 2-score contest. That's really all they need.
And that means for your play caller, he's not looking to the attack portion of his sheet, right? He's looking for, okay, what do we have that's going to keep us in a good spot? No lost yardage plays. Let's kick a field goal and go up 2 scores. If we score a touchdown, great. But that's not what you're really playing for.
No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
It's an old-fashioned goal.
And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. And, Charles, maybe that's one they had dialed up. Hey, if we're in a 4th and goal situation, we're going to our muscle.
And you can feel the boom, boom, boom all the way up here where we sit. The earth was shaking, and he found his way into the end zone.
Yeah, but that's such a great guy to have around the goal line, isn't it?
Indeed it is. It's a great extra dimension to add to your offense. When you can finish things with power, that's hard for a defense to deal with.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw complete to Rager. Oh, and a nice tackle, a 6-yard pickup, but they need more than that.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Cousins. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Sauce Gardner picks it off, and the Jets are going to take possession of the football. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection, and now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
They'll roll him out right. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
Well, the connection they've had has been excellent today, but not on that snap. I think he was asking just a little too much as he extended that play, hoping for one more completion with him.
Rodgers looking to throw. On the move to his left. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great